Rachel.
And I'm Chris. And today on Out and About in Simcoe County, we are at the Scenic Caves Nature Adventures.
Yes, and we're going to be walking the treetops. I've got this thing on, which makes me feel like I'm 6 months old again in a jolly jumper.
And we've got some zip lining coming up.
That's going to be awesome.
Lots to explore.
Lots of rules to follow, but I do like the last one, I have to say.
They're going to teach us how to do this safely, but this part I think we've got mastered. Enjoy your surroundings.
Always.
That's what we're good at. So we're going to get started?
I'm so geared up for this. Let's go.
All right.
All right.
We made it to the top of the very first launch for the treetop walk here. And Cam McLaughlin, tell me all about it.
Well, we're up on tree 1. This is the beginning of our treetop walk. The entire walk is 16 trees long. There are no screws, no nails, or anything in any of our real trees. We've got a couple posts that have been put in place over the years from dying trees, but we want to protect our trees here in the Niagara Escarpment and in the forest. We're in a 200-year-old forest, so we do want to protect it.
You can tell we're walking across now. It's a little narrow, and I don't know if people were expecting it to be so narrow, but that's what makes it so cool. You're actually, look how close you are to the trees. This is impressive. I like this. It's so rare that you actually get to spend time in the forest, a 200-year-old forest, way up here from a different perspective. It looks less green, but there's so many more open spaces than when we're down lifting rocks looking for snakes.
Oh, there's a feather down here. It looks like maybe a vulture feather, maybe some kind of other bird of prey feather.
Well, and Cam was telling me earlier that there is actually a family of vultures around here. Most people wouldn't want to look down. Rachel's actually looking down to look for bird feathers and animals while we're up here. While we're up here, now almost 30 feet up, you can see everything that nature has to offer from a different perspective. We can actually see spaces in the ground that we may come back to and explore a little bit later on, but there's nature all over the place. We've seen woodpecker holes. We've seen a couple of birds fly by. What about you, Rach? Have you seen anything else?
I have seen a couple of robins, some footprints that I can see in the mud down here. There's a quarter, but other than that, no, I haven't seen anything yet.
Rachel's like a magpie. If there's coins or anything shiny on the ground, she will spot it from 100 feet away or apparently 30 feet in the air. But this just gives you a whole different perspective in nature. We survived 1/3 of the way through so far. How'd you like it?
I thought it was great. I liked the bouncing and the swinging and the... If I weren't terrified, I would probably have fallen asleep.
I liked the fact that I felt like one of those flying squirrels. Like if I just launched myself off and spread my wings, I could have flown.
That would have made for some great television, but I don't think it would have been very pretty.
I would have fallen like a stone.
So now we're going to go down, and we're going to go kind of backtrack and take a look at some of the things that we looked above, and now we're going to look from beneath.
Let's see what we've got under here. Ready?
All right, so once again, we're about to roll the log. And we have a big old worm, as usual. These fungi are so cool. I love these little guys. I'm going to have to figure out what these are. But no salamanders today.
I don't even see any slugs this time.
Good rot, though. Look at that.
Yeah. It's well on its way. Look at that, mushy.
This is what all you gardeners want in your gardens. This kind of mulch and stuff. We've descended from the canopy up above, and we're going to be looking closer at this feather that I saw from up there. And by the looks of it, I think this is a red-tailed hawk primary feather, which would be a flight feather. And all along here you could see the striations, and that would help identify the type of bird that it is. Wow, this is quite the view.
Yeah, we get quite an amazing view from up here. This is one of the views that we give our tours. This is about halfway through, and it looks over about the 370 acres of land that Scenic Caves actually owns, as well as the entire surrounding area of Collingwood and southern Georgian Bay.
That's pretty amazing. How far up from from the southern Georgian Bay are we,
Yeah, so
meter-wise?
From the water level, we're about 300 meters up.
Okay.
And you can also put that into perspective. Think of the Eiffel Tower. It could fit from, that's about how high we are, is the height of that. So it's pretty tall.
I'm looking at all of this, and it's just absolutely gorgeous, but it's so wacky. Like, there's this area here that is like a cliff, and then it comes down, and it's just like this big bowl has been scooped out of the ground. Like, why is that? Is that glacier?
That's a great question. So the Niagara Escarpment was actually the end of the coast of a big body of water called the Michigan Basin.
Okay.
Thousands of years ago, before the Ice Age, we would actually be at the water level now. And so, like I said, the Niagara was the edge of the actual big body of water. This is before any of the Great Lakes existed, before Collingwood existed. And so, over the years, over thousands of years, the water has retreated through ice ages, and we've gotten this beautiful escarpment now. And even like you were pointing over there,
yes.
That's one of the big ski clubs we have along the escarpment here, and that's actually the highest point on the Niagara Escarpment. This is our we call our signal point. This is where we would take our tours, explain a little bit about the view, and then again we would talk about some of the history of the land and the history of the First Nations people that did live here before obviously Scenic Caves owned the property. So if you want, I can touch on that. Yeah.
So lots of water. Not so much water.
Right.
Native Americans.
Yes. So over 400 years ago, there were about 9 different tribes that lived around the southern Georgian Bay area. The one that did take up the property that Scenic Caves now owns was the Tiantate tribe, and now go by the name the Wyandot tribe.
Wyandot.
Yes, we actually had 6 Wyandot elders up here last year. They were able to stand here just where we are, look over their this beautiful view, and they were able to see, for the first time for them and the first time for their people in about 400 years, they were able to see their ancestral land. It's
nice that, you know, this area that you and the Scenic Caves are kind of like a nice bubble, you know, like you're not allowing anybody to come in, wipe out all these trees and build skyscrapers and all the rest of it. You're keeping that history, and you're keeping, you know, the past alive.
Yeah, yeah. Like I mentioned before, the UNESCO, the protection agency that's run by the United Nations, does protect most of the Niagara Escarpment. We've got forests that are a part of the property here that are very rare. We've got a red oak tree. They're very selfish trees, and there's a section that there are so many red oaks. We never see that, so that's protected.
We just finished our treetop walk, and when we come back, we're going to the caves.
Oh,
you ready?
Looking forward to this. This is going to be righteous.
All right, let's see if I can go fit in that tight little hole.
Let's see if I can worm my way through. We're back, and this is where we're headed now.
Look at that hole. This is where we're going spelunking.
This is going to be a riot. I'm so looking forward to this.
I'm going to go find moss and ferns. That's what I'm looking for.
Lichen.
Yeah, I like it, lichen.
I lichen a lot. All right, let's go.
I didn't see you there with my lamp.
Well, if you flash your lamp this way, excuse me, you're going to hit
I'm
my
trying
spiders.
not to get my head knocked when we go this way.
Here.
Oh, T and H. So somebody was here. Now, they said there aren't any bats in this particular cave system right here, but if there were, there'd be fewer spiders. And we do have lots of bats in Canada.
That's a nice big bat spider right there.
Excellent.
I love this guy too. Check him out. Actually her, it's a girl. This is the girl right here.
Waiting.
She's a great big girly waiting for some food. And waiting for the girly is the boy. And I don't know if you can tell the difference between the two. Boy and girl. But you can see why mating might be a little bit tricky.
Challenging.
Yes.
He's a chubby chaser. He likes his girls bigger, and that works out well because in spiders, girls are bigger.
Yep. And he likes a little junk in his trunk, and she has.
You got that big abdomen back there.
Yep. Badonk-a-donk. And he's all about that. So good for him. I'm pretty sure these guys will hook up at some point.
And hopefully he'll survive the encounter.
Yeah, that would be nice for him. I gotta find out what it's like to be a tube of toothpaste. And I'm gonna squeeze myself through a little hole. And it doesn't look bad. There's actually stairs, so it's kind of the baby's cave, but we'll give it a shot. It'll be a good introduction to spelunking, which is the technical word for cave creeping. So first off, it's dark, and thankfully I have a light. Ooh, it's so much cooler in here. It has to be a good 10 degrees cooler in here. Wow, you cannot be chubby coming through here. Wow. Yeah. So, it's only about as wide as me, and I'm already practically two-dimensional. That is about all you have to work with for about 10 feet. And then it has a very sharp turn at the other side. Whew, this is going to be fun to see Chris come through.
Did you make it through all right?
Yes, it was great. Straight on through. There aren't any turns at all.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go with no on that.
Really? Come on, you can do it.
I don't think I'd probably...
Coming out
The
ours
first step is the toughest one. After that, it seems easier.
Yeah. And with a little help from his friends.
Okay. Let's see where we're going here. Oh, big feet. I've been in there for 7 weeks.
Yeah, I had to chew off my own arm.
Dad,
127 hours.
I'm just waiting for Boogie.
Okay. Maybe you should have went behind her.
It's going to be even more embarrassing when the older people come up
Wait,
behind
she got
me
it.
and I'm just going to be
Oh,
embarrassed.
Rocks. People think rocks and they think dead, nothing can grow in a rock. You know, there needs to be soil, there needs to be something. There does need to be soil, but it only needs to be a very tiny amount. So if you look, you could see roots coming down, and these are all from these great big trees up above. And they've actually pushed their root systems down, they've actually pushed their root systems through the rock, and in some cases probably swelled it up and broke the rock off. That may be why these are here. These trees have been here for an extremely long time. And a lot of people look at the trees and go, wow, look how huge they are. They've been there forever. But these little guys too, these little moss and the lichens and the things that you see here, they've been here forever as well. They can be hundreds of years old. And people don't think about that. They just walk past and go, hey, look at that green rock. Inside each of these little crevices, there's a little bit of dirt so little plants can grow. The little snails can come out and crawl on top of the leaves and munch away and leave little trails behind. This is actually from a type of insect. It's actually not a snail, it's a type of insect that feeds in between the layers of the leaf. So there's the top layer and the bottom layer and then the middle layer. It's kind of like a sandwich. And what that insect does, it eats the middle layer. So it's like only eating the filling out of the Oreo. And that's what he does. He just crawls around and does the Oreo thing all over the leaf. So even with just a tiny, tiny amount of soil, life can grow. And there's an awful lot of life in this one little area, in this one big rock, which is, I think, pretty incredible. I mean, this is a vertical garden. Absolutely incredible. I think we found our niche in life, Chris.
It happens to be in a cool, dark cave that used to be owned by a bear. So he's not here anymore, which is fortunate because it's a pretty small cave, so we'd all be doubled up. But we're going to go explore the rest of the park.
This actually isn't too bad. I could chill here. Think of all the money you'd save on air conditioning, heating, lighting.
I could sublet
Dollar
that small
store
space
light.
right there to some bugs and bats.
Yeah.
This is nice. All right, well, let's go see what else the park has to offer. If I can... My broad shoulders, they're holding me back from escaping.
That's okay. I'll kick you out.
There we go. We're back with Out and About in Simcoe County, and now it's the Thunderbird Twin Zip Line. You ready to race?
Nope.
No, not at all. Looks like I'm going to be the clear winner in this. Watch her pull out a win in the end. Let's get going.
Sure.
All right, we're at the top. You ready?
Yes. I'm about as ready as I can get. And I guess that old saying goes, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeehaw! I'm going sideways. Look at that. Woo! Halfway down now. Oh, Lord Jesus, I can see my house from here. Yeehaw! Like a glove. Who crossed the finish line first? That's right, this guy. Even in this fancy harness.
Just wait over by the radio for a second.
Winner.
I made it!
She did.
I did.
Made it. She came in as
I came
a
in
nice
second. Yes.
winner. But all the way down, it felt like we could touch the trees. It's about as close to feeling like the vulture we saw at the top flying around as you could possibly get. When we were walking through,
It is beautiful.
it doesn't even look like there's any openings. But
No.
you've got canopy all the way around, and it looks like none of this has ever been harvested. One healthy ecosystem. That's what you want in nature. We're on the suspension bridge overlooking all the nature here at the park. 420 feet long, 150 feet to the forest floor.
10 years old.
10 years old last month.
Yep.
That's what Cam was saying. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish crossing the suspension bridge, and we're going to go look at the trees down below.
I love this. This is one of my favorite things about the woods. You find all these little baby plants. This is a little baby oak tree. And underneath a big adult oak tree. The tree does not far, or the fruit does not far fall from the tree. So we've got this little baby oak tree. This is a little baby oak tree. And this oak tree is actually growing out of the stump of a dead one. So Look how neat that is. And it's okay, these aren't poison ivy, this is strawberry, so I'm not going to get poison ivy or anything. Good. I think that's just wonderful. And it's just growing itself back out. You can see this brand new growth here. Just wonderful. Nature renewing itself.
As we're coming along the trails, we've seen oak trees, and even the trees that have been here for a while have been incorporated into the trails. Look at this. They've got stairs built in through the root system. This is how a plant survives. Some of these roots, they've got to be 8 inches around, and this is what keeps a tree up. Even though there's no soil holding up, well, half the tree, it's got these roots that maintain its strength. And actually the roots and the leaves that come from trees have a sense of gravity in them. They've just done studies to find out that plants actually grow their leaves vertically and the roots horizontally so that they can maintain balance. They figured this out while they were doing plant studies in space as well. This is just nature in its own study.
This is a gypsy moth caterpillar, and they're evil, 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 evil. Nasty caterpillar, and they're actually an invasive species, and they chew through just about everything. They're also called tent caterpillars. You'll see them quite often in trees, and it looks like a big net full of squirming, wriggling bodies. It's really kind of gross, but awesome, but gross, but gross.
One more, come on, magic number. Last.
Is last a number?
It is.
Salamander!
Whoa,
Salamander!
whoa, whoa.
Indeed, last is our magic number.
Now, you all are going to think that this was set up when I say magic number last. This was not.
Not a setup.
Because I actually wanted to go to this one earlier, but... Huh?
I trumped him. You win. Okay, all day. For all day score, you win. But we still haven't found a snake, so...
We have not found a snake yet.
No. So this is another redback salamander.
And that's how quickly they disappear right back in there.
They'll disappear for you. I can still see him. Hello, my lovely. Come say hello to Auntie Rachel. Just say hello. Oh, you can totally see why he lives here. He's grooving in here for all the ants. I mean, come on. You are, aren't you? Just grooving for the ants.
Now put him down beside them and comparative size.
And now he can go home. Go on.
Not a bad place to live.
Yay!
The fridge is stocked.
Best day ever. A lot of times you'll be in the middle of the woods and you'll have to go to the washroom. Let me tell you, this is not a plant that you want to go to the washroom in. This is poison ivy. It's very easy to identify. It has 3 leaves. Leaves of 3, let it be. And you'll see some other plants around it that may or may not be poison ivy. They're not quite as glossy, or they're a different color, or they may have an extra leaf here and there. If you think it might be poison ivy, just steer clear of it because it's really not worth the hassle, especially in your tender areas, if you get what I mean. So, leaves of 3, let it be. We had so much fun here at Scenic Caves Eco Adventures.
We did. We explored nature from top to bottom.
Yep, all the way from Suspension Bridge.
Go all the way down to the caves.
Yep.
Which you won the caves.
I did win the
most
caves.
Importantly, I won the zip line.
No, that doesn't count. See, because I let you have really good head start.
See what I have to work with all the time? You see that?
Fine. Anyway, we did have a really good time here.
We did, and the suspension bridge gave us an excellent perspective of nature.
I think everything gave us an excellent perspective of nature. So join us next time on Out and About in Simcoe County.